because the Father God had taught me so. Honesty, to walk in truth, it's the best thing ever. It feels good to tell the truth. It really feels good, right? So let's get in the word and learn that we are truly who God say that we are. Speak the truth in love, right? Let's leave it at the feet of Jesus no matter what is going on. Speak the truth in love that you can truly let go whatever that is, right? And it ought to be, because it ought to be the way it ought to be, as God called it to be. And if you're walking in deceit, if you're living a life of deception, it's never going to be how it ought to be. That's why we ought to speak the truth, right? So we can clarify situations, right? That it can be how it ought to be. So let's get in the word, learn of God's true love, and live it as his sons. Know that we are who God called us to be, who we are made to be. We don't need to pretend with people, no. And it doesn't matter who it is, right? We don't need to pretend with people. We are who we are. We are to speak the truth always. So it makes no sense before me you are pretending that you are with me, and then behind you it's a total different scene, right? So you speak the truth and be who you are to be. You are a son of God. I love you, but here's where we at, right? I love you, but here is where we are at, right? So we need to address all that's going on, right? All that issue right there, we need to take care of it, right? To the face, right? Among each other, so it can be rectified, right? So we can move on as we ought to and do right by God, because we honor our Father in all that we do, right? So let's know that God is truly amazing, God. And no matter what comes, we're going to trust in him. We ought not to be hypocrites, right? We are not to walk in strife. We're not to walk in confusion. We are not to walk in darkness, period. Everything that is of the flesh, we need to what? Let it go and look to Jesus. Because his life is what we're living every day. Okay, my brothers and sisters, if we are holding on to the things of the flesh, we will never walk in the love of God like we ought to walk in the love of God. And it's a learning process. It's an ongoing process. We're going to get him the word, and we have to renew our mind every day and truly learn of him, that we can truly understand how great his love is. His love is above it all, right? Our Father is not a hypocrite, because if he was, then it simply means he wouldn't be faithful. We couldn't take him at his word, right? And we do take him at his word because he's faithful, right? He's faithful. His love, excuse my loved ones, his love is faithful. His love is true. And that's how we ought to live every day. I don't want to be a hypocrite